What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
You don't know what that order is, Mr. Trash. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
We've said it once, we've said it before, we've said it a million times. The truth shall always set you free. This is Tim. Let's get off my lawn. The mad ramblings of a Gen Xer. Oh, we need to talk about drones again because there's so much information, misinformation, and every other types of information. Also want to talk about the Ukraine's president, Mr. Zelensky. I'm not going to call him President Zelensky because he was a former actor pretending now to be a president, pretending now to be a military general. And he's come out with stern warnings for Trump and the United States. He has come out and said that he warns that the United States risks in losing its pivotal role in NATO and its global leadership, I'm getting over a cold, if it withdraws funding from the ongoing war in Ukraine. Dun, dun, dun. You mean that the 4-year blank check is gonna stop? What kind of fucking craziness is that? We just not gonna just keep sending billions of dollars of arms and aid to a country that we don't really know or have any idea what's being accounted for and what's not being accounted for because the Defense Department hasn't been able to balance a budget in how many months? How many years? Oh, since the Biden administration? It's saying now the statement sparked a debate across social media platforms with some users expressing skepticism about the necessity of NATO's current structure and U.S. involvement, while others emphasize, excuse me, I really can't talk today, the critical role of America's support and the alliance operation. So when you pay into NATO, you're basically paying in a portion of your GDP, and the United States is just pouring money and has been pouring into NATO since its inception. So when Trump was president, I know it's gonna be great to say that again. Oh, you know what? I want to blow some liberals' minds.
That's what she said.
Merry Christmas. But since its inception, we have been flipping a large portion of this bill. And some wonder, especially wondering aloud, some people are saying the quiet part out loud, especially in the Trump administration and Donald Trump himself, is it necessary for us to keep funding this? We have our own military we need to fund. We have our own military we need to rebuild. And you had countries that haven't been paying for years until Trump came along and said, listen, you don't pay what you're supposed to pay. We're not going to keep flipping the bill for this. And it's basically an alliance to protect, Europe and our allies. And I understand that. And, if you are an ally, we will readily come to your aid. If you go back to, the first Gulf War, how much of the fighting force there, when a lot of it was supposed to be NATO countries as well, was the United States? Just asking for a friend because he would like to know. I don't know sometimes. So the federal government has now said that people in New Jersey are no question seeing drones. I don't know how long. How long did it come out for them to finally say, no. There's no question there are drones being sighted. None whatsoever.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Mr. Secretary, thank you for joining us this morning. Can you clear up the confusion here?
Absolutely, George, and thank you very much for having me. There's no question that people are seeing drones. And
Now wait. This is the best part. This is Alejandro Mayorkas, your federal government.
To assure the American public that we in the federal government have deployed additional resources, personnel, technology to assist the New Jersey State Police in addressing the drone sightings. Some of those drone sightings are, in fact, drones. Some are manned aircraft that are commonly mistaken for drones, and we do see duplicative reporting. But there's no question that drones are being sighted. Let me set the record straight here, George. There are thousands of drones.
I love this part because now you have to have the caveat. Now you have to have from Alejandro Mayorkas, why you people are stupid.
Flown every day in the United States. Recreational drones, commercial drones. That is the reality. And in September of 2023...
So the reality is that drones are following Coast Guard cutter ships. Drones are coming in from across the ocean. These drones are at times are so sophisticated that commercial drones used by police departments cannot follow or track these drones, and they are on a frequency that we're not familiar with.
Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, changed the rules so that drones could fly at night. And that may be one of the reasons why now...
So, oh God, the FAA changed the rules that drones can fly at night. You stupid motherfuckers. Don't go outside and look up into the sky. What is wrong with you? There's nothing to see here.
People are seeing more drones than they did before, especially from dawn to dusk. And so that is the reality. But I want to assure the American public that we are on it.
Make the bad man stop.
We're on it. Don't worry. Because there was a spy balloon flying over the country for like a month, going over slowly, I mind you, slowly, going over sensitive military installations, transmitting data back to China. And we were told we said that's not a balloon.
Are working in close coordination with state and local authorities. And it is critical, as we all have said for a number of years, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation.
First, it's the FAA that caused this problem. Now it's Congress not giving Alejandro Mayorkas more money so he can not spend it at the border. I cannot wait for this motherfucker to be gone.
Our authorities currently are limited, and they are set to expire. We need them extended and expanded.
What exactly do you need?
We want state and local authorities to also...
I just love looking at George Stephanopoulos, considering he just got sued and lost to Trump.
...have the ability to counter drone activity under federal supervision. That is one important element that we have requested, and we've heard it echoed by the state and local officials themselves.
Okay, so you have the FAA, and let's say there's some drones illegally flying over into sensitive areas. So you're telling me the United States government, if there is an unidentified flying object flying over their military installations, they're not allowed to take action against it? I'm sorry, my friend. I have to literally call bullshit. Knock, knock. Who's there? Bullshit. I mean, it's one of those things that do they actually believe that we are this stupid? I'm just asking for a friend. Do they believe that we are this stupid? They must, because it's truly and literally the only explanation. Not for the drones, just for the lack of forthrightness that this administration has put forth in reference to any type of information. Now, there are speculations that this drone could be a lot of things. One of the speculations is the fact that this is being used by the CIA, that they're connected. The CIA is doing some type of covert cover-up or covert operation, which the CIA really doesn't operate on U.S. soil. Now, under this Biden administration, Lord knows what the fuck could be happening. But they really don't operate. The CIA's, the Central Intelligence Agency, whole operation is basically overseas. You know, keeping an eye on our bad guys. Keeping an eye on those bad guys that are out there that are off to do us harm. So can I see that it's a CIA operation? I got to kind of say no a little bit on that one. I was kind of thinking about it. And, they're, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird what's going on here. Now, Congress all of a sudden is going to start taking action against these drones, evidently. But we have to kind of wait and see what happens right there, because our U.S. government right now is a bunch of talk and nothing else going on. But I cannot see this being some type of covert military operation. There are also some speculations and talks by some people on Twitter. And Joe Rogan has actually kind of hooked his wagon to this, that he says he's generally concerned about the drones after watching footage that floated across unverified theories, of course, that the unmanned devices are sniffing out harmful substances. So John Ferguson, CEO of Remote Aircraft Systems Company, which is in Kansas, did a TikTok video on Saturday. And it says the drones are attempting to smell out either gas or radioactive materials somewhere else on the ground. He said, the only reason you ever fly an unmanned aircraft at night is if you're looking for something. All right, listen. So, okay. So a hiker gets lost in the mountains. A child is lost in the woods, let's just say. And you want to cover the area more quickly, so you're basically telling me that the only way you could do that is to fly a drone at night? You're searching for a suspect who is eluding police. Don't they have police helicopters during the day? Oh, no, let him go. We can't catch that guy. We can only search for people at night. The only reason you ever fly an unmanned aircraft at night is when you're looking for something, says Ferguson, noting he doesn't believe the drones are nefarious. I don't believe the drones are nefarious, but I believe they're looking for something. So my belief is that they're trying to smell something on the ground, gas leak, radioactive material, whatever. So then you have people speculating onto this theory that there is a dirty bomb. There's a nuclear dirty bomb somewhere here on the East Coast, and the United States government, in their infinite wisdom, is sending up thousands of drones at night to try and find it. This is the shit that happens. These are the online theories that happens when you don't provide any information. And he said, I've not bounced this idea off anyone. It's just my opinion. Okay, well, you know what? You put it on TikTok, you put it on Twitter, you put it on everyone else. People are going to look at it as a speculation that this is an anti-terrorism task force looking for a dirty bomb somewhere on the East Coast. I don't know, guys. I mean, that one's up there. And Joe Rogan, I like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has come out and basically said, he said, this is the first video about these drones that has me generally concerned, he wrote on Twitter. And then he also previously called the claims of the U.S. government after National Security Advisor Kirby said the drones were not a public safety concern, and many reported sightings are actually manned aircraft. And listen, I can believe that. I can believe that some of the sightings are manned aircraft. I can believe that some of the sightings are recreational purposes, but I do think that the United States government is using that as a cover-up because of the fact that this has been going on for 20 plus days now. And if you watch some of the videos and you see some of the movements, and you could see that clearly these are sophisticated type drones. Homeowners have said that they have shined flashlights on the drones, and all the lighting systems on the drones would go out. That there's some type of light sensitivity to these drones. Is it some type? I mean, I personally think it's some type of military operation because there is an Air Force base not too far from the location where all these drones are coming out. That maybe they're testing certain types of top secret drone technology because Area 51 was overbooked. We have too many aliens right now in Area 51. But this is the problem. When you don't provide any details, you don't provide any substance, you don't provide any information, these are the types of rampant speculations that you get. That now this is what causes panic. Same thing with the balloon. You tell us there's no balloon. What are you, crazy? But then you sit there and say, well, yeah, there is a balloon, but don't worry about it. It's nothing. It's a weather balloon. Then we find out it's a Chinese spy balloon. One of the other theories that I've come across the internet is that it's, of course, the Iranians. We've talked about that there's an alien. We're gonna get to aliens too. There are Iranian mothership drone ship that's off the coast, east coast somewhere, flying these drones over, testing our defenses. Which I actually, that there could be some credence to that, because evidently the Iranians have a former, I guess it was a tanker, which they converted into a drone aircraft carrier, which left, I believe, Iran back on December 5th, I think they were saying. And the United States government doesn't know where it's at. They think it's going to the Persian Gulf. I love our government now. Don't you just feel safe and warm with the Biden administration? We don't know where that drone ship went, but don't worry, it's not parked off the East Coast because we have no idea where it is. I mean, come on. Could there be some credence in that? Yeah, I do think so. But like I said, I keep coming back to government for surveillance, our own government surveillance. I don't think it could potentially be foreign surveillance. But if that's the case, how come we cannot find the mothership off the East Coast? We have radar. We have all types of tracking equipment. And then I love it because you got people saying also, it's kids playing a prank. So all these kids got together. It's like the crop circles. Some of the crop circles are fake, but I saw the movie Signs. I seen it. One of Mel Gibson's better flicks. But that's just something else to think of, that you do have a aircraft carrier for drones owned by the Iranians, which left port on, I believe it was December 5th, and we don't know where it's at. We think it's in the... How do you lose... This is worse than Pearl Harbor. How do you... Especially with today's technology, how do you lose a ship like that? How do you not be able to have the capacity to track a former tanker ship that was converted into an aircraft carrier? The other one out there is alien invasions. This is an alien invasion. Yeah, that's what it is. The aliens are using drone technology to sniff out our defenses. I like that one the best. I like the alien invasion the best because of the fact that if these aliens are not sophisticated like the ones that we saw like in the TV show V, the Mark Singer TV show V, not the bad remake. Or Independence Day, not Independence Day 2, the Will Smith Independence Day. And they have to use drone technology to probe our country.
That's what she said.
I'm not really overly concerned about what we like to refer to as someone that's that extraterrestrial intelligence. That doesn't concern me as much. That doesn't sit there and go to myself, interesting. The aliens have to use drones. I am going to tell you this, though. And maybe I am speaking a little, out of turn. Because the other day, I was on the New Jersey Turnpike. And I didn't have my Easy Pass, so I had to go in to get a ticket. The lane where you go in to get a ticket. And I saw a van full of what looked like aliens trying to figure out how to get a ticket out of the machine so they can continue on the turnpike. The only problem was they were illegal aliens. Hey-oh, another one of the conspiracy theories is going to be it's Project Bluebeam. We did a whole video on Project Bluebeam. Oh God, I think it was a year ago. And it's one of those theories, and it's one of those things in conspiracy theories that has been going on for I think since the 90s. It's originated in, it was by a Canadian journalist who died in 96. It was in the 90s. It alleges a covert operation by government elites to establish a totalitarian world government by orchestrating fake celestial or supernatural events using futuristic NASA technology. The proponents of the theory initially expected the project to begin in 1995 and 1996, but then the guy whose theory this was, he died. So it kind of went by the wayside. And it's basically use it to create global panic and dismantle existing religion and social structure. Now, some people are saying that because Trump won the election, that's what the Biden administration is trying to do. Because we always talk about Trump being the guy that wanted to be the dictator, being the guy that doesn't want to get pushed out of office. I think a lot of the people in the Biden administration are afraid what's going to happen when Trump comes in office. So you keep people thinking about this, thinking, you know what? This could be something that the government's using. Next, they're talking about projecting holographic images that would simulate the return of divine figures. So Jesus is going to come back and say, what the fuck are you people doing here? What are you, crazy? And these are going to be customized per each region. So you could have Allah, you could have Vishnu, you could have whoever, followed by, and then it's going to be a unifying God speaking to all people. Then, I always love this part, then the technology would manipulate human thoughts, creating an illusion of direct communications with the deities and simulating an alien invasion to justify authoritarian control. I don't know. I think that one might be my favorite. I think that one might be my favorite of all time. And like I said, this has been going around since the 90s. And it was supposed to take effect in 95, 96. And then the guy who came up with the Canadian journalist that came up with this theory, he died. I do think at times there could be a factor in this that the government is trying to do something to maybe hold on to the power that they currently have. So I think the biggest fear that this Biden administration has is their corruption will be exposed, unmanned by the Trump administration because of the fact that there is just so much shit going on. There's just so much shit they're going to try to do. I love the fact that Biden is either pardoned or commuted the sentences of 1,500 people. The record before that was 300 plus by Obama. So Biden was just like, his is 330 plus. I'm going to do 1,500. And then I love it because then he gives the pardon to his son and he makes it all sweeping for the last 10 years that no matter what he did the last 10 years, he cannot be charged for a crime. Wow, that's one hell of a fucking pardon, one hell of a little bit of corruption going on here. You know, there's been some weird shit going around for a while now, and I'm not gonna displace anyone's thought processes or their beliefs of what may be causing this information. I want to see this guy. This is a researcher, Dr. Stephen Green, accurately predicted the rollout of Project Bluebeam. This is happening now.
There's a new video this morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky.
That's part of the video. Let's get to this guy. I got it because this talks about all the aliens that we're seeing and everything going. Here's the guy.
Office. Beware the military-industrial complex.
We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
He wasn't talking about his brethren in the military rank.
No, he said a technological elite in control of it.
We must also be alert to the equal.
This is from Alex Jones, and they're the champion of conspiracy theories, so we're not going to continue playing that whatsoever. But I just thought it was interesting that you could easily dispel these rumors if you're the United States government, if you could just say, yeah, it's military testing. You know, that's what I would have came out and said. Yes, the military is, even if it wasn't true, the military is testing some drone technology, a weapon down the East Coast, so we have a better understanding of the use of this technology because we already know we are behind on drone advancement that China is smoking us in reference to this. So, I mean, I would think at that point in time, you would kind of just say, you know what, now that I'm thinking about this, you guys are right. Just come out with a story. Come out with a plan. It's the misinformation that causes panic. And like always, panic is caused by the truth not being told. And as always here, the truth shall always set you free. This is Dennis, get off my lawn. The mad ramblings of a Gen Xer. And I'm out of here.